You better not shout, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Mailbag is coming to town. Welcome to a special holiday edition of Mailbag.
It's not even very holiday themed.
No, it's not at all, but it is the mailbags we will read during our holiday episode.
It is, I know.
Thank
Do
you.
you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I don't always go first.
I'm only saying yes because it's going to be my birthday soon. Emily, Kevin, and crew. The crew is rich, you guys.
Yeah.
By the way.
In case you're wondering who the crew is, it's Rich.
It's just us.
Yeah.
Just sending season's greetings. Here's Daphne with my Christmas High Life and my New Year's CQ films. Very cute.
Yeah.
As for all dog cast films,
Yeah.
I submit Grand Kennel, a grand hotel for dogs. This one's really good.
I like this one a lot.
Ruff Fifi, a franchise film with dogs. Okay, that's amazing, Eric. That's a really good one. Speaking of which, I'm hearing of a film called The Doberman Gang about a gang of dogs who are trained to rob a bank. Have you seen it?
I don't think either of us have.
No, but I think I've heard about it.
And it may very well be either the next dog movie or or one coming up soon.
Yeah, if you guys have any dog movie suggestions for 2022,
Oh, absolutely.
please send them our way. Anyway, best wishes for the season, Eric.
Oh, thanks, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
Thanks, Daphne.
And Daphne. Ruff Fifi. I love it so much. Have you seen the New Year's Eve movie 200 Cigarettes?
I have not.
Have you? Imagine that with dogs. So it's like an all-star cast of all these people trying to get it to this New Year's Eve party.
What kind of dog plays Ben Affleck?
Probably a golden retriever, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably
Or
right.
like a golden lab. You should see that movie. I really love it. But it's also been like 5 years since I've seen it. So.
I probably should.
Paul Rudd and Courtney Love. They have great chemistry.
Speaking of great New Year's movies, Get Crazy, the greatest New Year's Eve movie, finally came out on Blu-ray. So
Have I seen that? What is that?
rock concert venue that's going to shut down, and they're putting on this big show on New Year's Eve, and it's
Was it only on VHS before?
It was only on VHS until,
Okay. Have you talked about
until
it
weeks
before?
ago. Yeah, I mentioned it last year.
Okay.
Well, I mentioned it like end of last year, I think,
Well, I
or
still
on New Year's Eve.
still haven't seen it.
And now it's just like just recently, like this week on Blu-ray.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we seem to be really changing the way that the world works because so many movies we've mentioned have made their way to Blu-ray. I think most
It's
recently
true.
it's Chomps that someone let us know.
Chomps is coming out soon. Sundown, the Vampire in Retreat,
Oh, good.
came out. What's your go-to that is now coming out on Blu-ray?
Oh, Premutos.
Premutos is coming out.
Is that out already?
No, it is. It's coming out soon though.
If you guys want
It's
to
been
buy me
announced.
that for my birthday, oh, it's coming up. And then one of my favorite movies of the year, Annette. I was like, this shit's never coming out because it was an Amazon thing.
Is it,
but
though?
I was also like, well, it's got to come out because it's, I don't know how to say his name, Carax or whatever. I was like, well, it has to come out because he's like a big deal director.
Yeah.
Anyways, I check like every single day when it's coming out because I loved it so much. And then finally yesterday, they announced that it's going to be coming to Blu-ray and DVD on January 10th.
Titan, probably my favorite
February,
movie of the
I
year, is
think?
coming out in I think January also.
January.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is also like my second or maybe first. It's up there with
I have like 6
Annette.
favorite movies of the year, so
Yeah, but you'll have to wait till next episode to
Yeah,
find
to
out
hear
all
our
of our favorites.
Right now we have another mailbag.
Okay, let's do it.
This is from Adolfo. I first heard of Scarecrow when I picked up the Scarecrow video guidebook while working at a bookstore. I've lived in
That's so
cities
cool.
that have had similar video stores to yours in Austin and Chicago, but they're unfortunately all gone now. That is unfortunate. I think Fastest is still going in Chicago. I've signed up for the Rent My Mail program to get my psychotronic fix. Also, I think you picked up a koozie that I sent in, which was awkwardly edited in the previous video. There's a lot of awkward editing. I do all of it.
Yeah. I just black out and then all of a sudden I'm on YouTube.
He says, I wasn't advertising. I just had an extra koozie on hand, and I like adding their odds and ends when returning the rentals.
No, that's awesome.
That's totally nice. Please
Also-
send us more stuff.
Advertise if you want because that's your right if you're creating
Yeah.
something cool. But also like send us extra shit you have too because that's also
send in
cool.
koozies or stickers or like I don't know, a little comic book or whatever.
Art.
Speaking of which, what were your first introductions to horror or psychotronic cinema? As a kid, I grew up with the Santo movies, and those usually featured mummies, vampires, or zombies. That's cool. My dad grew up watching westerns and was a fan of any that were spaghetti or regular variety. My mom loved martial arts films, no matter how bad they may be. My mom's only ever seen, I think, one kung fu movie, and it was when I took her to see the Shaw Brothers movie, Dirty Ho, when I went to Austin to visit her when she lived there at the Draft House original before it moved to the Ritz. And I think that's probably still the only Kung Fu movie she's ever seen. After watching stuff like Django or Nine Deaths of the Ninja as a kid, I ended up liking those sorts of films and still seek them out. I'd love to hear your experiences and keep up the great work. It's always a blast when there's a new episode to watch. Hope you have a great holiday season and see you in 2022. We'll see you in 2022 too. Thanks.
Yes.
Or you'll see us in 2022. We probably won't see you. Or maybe we will. Who knows?
I don't know. We don't know what the next year is going to bring.
But thank you. So yeah, you go first on
Introduction to
stuff.
Psychotronic.
Yeah.
The first scary movie that I remember watching was Arachnophobia, which I thought was really terrifying, but also funny. Which it is still kind of scary if you're scared of bugs and spiders. And then also, I remember my grandma. I went to my grandma's room, and she was watching something, and I was like, "What are you watching, Grandma?" And she's like, it's this movie called Silence of the Lambs. It's a terrible movie. It's just awful. It's disgusting. Don't watch it. Even though she's watching it. And I always remembered that. So as soon as I could, I watched Silence of the Lambs. And my grandma's where I get all my love for kind of fucked up shit. Even to this day, I'll be spending the night at my parents' house. She lives with my parents. And she'll be like, Emily, there's a Dateline coming out tonight, 9 p.m. It's about those parents that abuse their 10 children and lock them in their house. Are you gonna watch? And I'm like, hell yeah, Grandma, I'm gonna watch it. But at the same time, she's like, this is awful. But then she'll just sit and watch, and I love that. What about you?
My first my introduction to horror and psychotronic was I remember watching Goonies and Legend the same night at a friend's house.
Cool.
And I didn't know. I thought we were going to be watching the movie Ghoulies, which I think I'd seen a picture of in a magazine or something, but we watched the movie Goonies, so I kept waiting for a little monster to pop up, but nothing happened. But then I still liked the Goonies. I remember also seeing Gremlins. So I like movies with little critters. I was really into the Muppets and stuff and Star Wars growing up, and so I think any kind of crazy special effects puppets. But I remember we went to see Gremlins at the drive-in because my parents thought had seen it advertised as a comedy, and I was 5, which was my sister was 2, and. Let me tell you, Gremlins is a funny movie, but not when you're 5.
And look at you now, wearing a Gremlins Christmas
terrifying.
sweater.
And now I'm wearing a Gremlins Christmas sweater. And speaking of little critters, the movie Critters was one of my favorites growing up too, that I watched all the time.
Critters.
Which is these little black guys that roll into balls and they shoot little poison projectiles
I
at people.
I mixed up all of those
like Space Invaders,
Ghoulies, Munchies.
Yeah. Munchies
Critters.
Was a favorite of mine, but when I was a kid, all those anything like that was I was gimme.
Yeah.
The other introduction to psychotronic cinema for me was going to the video store and not being allowed to watch the horror movies,
Seeing the covers.
Just spending an hour looking at the horror movie box art and being oh my god, this looks so scary.
Yeah.
This looks amazing. What happens? I can't believe. I do the same thing at bookstores whenever there was a Fangoria around. I would they'd be off shopping in the mall somewhere. I'd go to Walden Books and just read Fangoria for 2 hours and be oh my god, this looks so scary. I mean, when I saw the movies later, they weren't as scary, but I still love those.
Also, Fangoria always had the really gross covers.
Oh yeah. Well, they had all the gross shit from what was one of the Nightmare on Elm Streets? I think it's 4 or 5, whichever one the one is where he makes the girl eat her stomach over and over. And I remember when I saw the movie, I was disappointed because I'd seen the images in Fangoria and they seemed so much more graphic.
Because they're
and
lit
disgusting.
for actual photo shoots or whatever.
Yeah.
Editorial. I also watched a lot of Unsolved Mysteries when I was a kid. I mean, they had the killers and stuff, but then they also had the UFOs and the ghost stuff.
Right.
And I was obsessed. And to this day, now that my TV has the weird the fake TV channels that come with your TV, do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have cable, you just go to the ones that come with your TV. There's an Unsolved Mysteries channel that just plays them 24/7. So
oh, wow.
That's what I've been falling asleep to lately.
Rich.
I grew up actually next to a drive-in theater. Well, not next to. A part away, but I could actually watch it with binoculars through my bedroom window.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I would climb out onto the roof, which is the roof of the back porch, in summer, and just watch. I couldn't hear them, there was no audio, obviously, but I could watch them. So I watched movies from 3rd grade on.
That's such
that way. And
It's
my
a beautiful
parents would take
image.
we'd go to that drive-in all the time, and so I'd see all kinds of stuff there, like Zombie, Night of the Zombies, Blood Beach. I saw all of these as very young. But the earliest memory I have of actually seeing a movie I was probably like 9 or 10 when my mom took myself and my sister to see Evil Dead 2 at my request in the theater, which is a great movie.
Yeah.
And one that, it basically made me like movies. It basically was the one I'm like, hey, there's something to this whole movie business. And then my dad also probably made me watch Them very early on because it's one of his favorite movies.
Nice.
So I guarantee I saw that at a very early age. And not so much Psychotronic, but I did see Star Wars as a babe in arms with my father in the theater when I was less than 1 year old because it opened on my one day before my first birthday.
Dude, you have some
Babe in
beautiful,
arms.
memories. Like imagining you as a child on the roof with binoculars. Like, like, are you kidding me, Rich?
Good binoculars.
That in itself is like cinematic.
Big
Right?
ass binoculars.
Yeah. No, I love it.
Star Wars is Psychotronic. It's sci-fi. It's
Yeah.
it counts. I mean,
It used to be in the Psychotronic room.
the first movie I remember seeing in theaters was E.T.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing Star Wars, unfortunately, but I definitely was there.
Yeah.
Probably a few days over 1 year old.
There's our origin stories for liking Psychotronic films.
Yeah,
like horror
so-
movies.
there's our Marvel origin stories.
Thanks for the mailbag
Yes.
questions and comments. If you do want to send more mail to us
Yes.
now and into 2022, viva@scarecrow.com. Also, feel free to send us stuff, just real stuff, like actual mail to 5030 Roosevelt Way, Northeast, Seattle, Washington, 98105.
Yes.
I almost forgot what city we
I
were
know. I gave you a chance though. I almost jumped in, but I was like, he'll remember.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to our next episode we're filming is going to be all favorite picks and discoveries and stuff of 2021. So if you have any input on that or any favorite moments of Viva Physical Media over the last year, that'd be cute, right?
Yeah.
Or just anything that fits that vibe of end of the year, like looking back or if you have any movie resolutions, ooh,
that's a good one,
let's
too.
do that next time too. We should come up with our own movie resolutions for the new year.
All right.
Fun.
I'll do my best. Okay, anyway.
Guys, I'm full of ideas, and I would love you to be a part of this journey with me. So email us, viva@scarecrow.com. Mailbag. 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 Wait, that was legit beautiful.